Yeah, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Rob back with another episode of From My Experience podcast. I'm your host, I should say. Yo, This episode is gonna be short and sweet, no headlines. Erica is under the weather, but I would just want to say God is moving, God is working. My mic is a little hot. God is moving, God is working, and I can tell. Yeah, I'm gonna just hit this music. I'm gonna get y'all in and out, and maybe this might be the shortest pod ever. yeah. But how y'all feeling out there? You feeling all right? You taking care of yourselves physically, mentally, financially? Is that what you're doing? Checking in on your strong friends, checking in on your weak friends. How's your mental health? How's your mental wealth? How's the diet? How's the exercise? Mine has been trash. But we're gonna get better at it, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into one particular thing today, alright y'all? One particular thing. Stick with your boy today. God is moving. God is moving. I'm gonna hit the round of applause early. We have reached over 5,000 downloads on our new platform. Woo-hoo. Shout out to you. If you're one of those 5,000 downloads, or if you're a multitude of those 5,000 downloads, I appreciate it. 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 We'll continue to grow. Continuing to grow, and we're going to continue to promote positivity, man. That's what we do here. That's what we do. We switched from our old podcast hosting platform, I want to say in 2022. Yeah, so been pushing, been working. This is just pure organic growth, no crazy marketing and promotion. That'll come at some point in time, but I'm really more concerned with putting out authentic content that's timeless, content that's meaningful, and something to just help people get through a rough day or a rough time, and just sharing these lessons. But more to come. I got other things I'm working on that are honestly a bigger priority than the podcast. That doesn't mean the podcast isn't important, but my time, effort, and energy and money is going into those things. But you'll see more from FME Podcast. Video is still being planned. Some more collaborative events are still being planned. More giveaways are still being planned. It's coming along. It's coming along. But today's topic, man, is just... I'm going to call this episode Take a Breath. Now, sometimes you do need to take a breath. This episode is heavily focused towards black men. Women, you go through too. You have your trials and tribulations too. But I want to give some special attention to the black men. And I say God is moving because we didn't record last week. And and for the positive vibe, I had a message talking about, which I'll play, called Tables Do Turn, right? Then this week we were supposed to have a special guest. She ended up getting sick, unfortunately. We hope to have her back soon for her interview. And me and Erica already had a topic from last week that we wanted to talk about, which is basically judgment. And this week's positive vibe was about embracing change. So tables do turn, judgment, and embracing change. I know that we all out there have been through those types of things and have had to deal with change and tables turning. The day you never thought it would be you, but it ended up being you. Or things changing rapidly, or things changing suddenly, and you having to choose between that change or sticking to your old path. Then, of course, judgment. With change, you accepting that new change, people think you switch up. Or when tables are turned, judgment comes. Oh, you thought you was all that. Or dang, yesterday you was broke. Now you got money. You think you all that. That type of behavior and things that you deal with, right? So, God's divine timing. Shout out to the Breakfast Club, Lauren LaRosa, DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God, and shout out to Tyrese. They had a very powerful interview with Tyrese, which basically connected those three themes. I saw the connections, right? So I'm going to play some clips for y'all. And then, I'm just going to have a conversation with you about taking a breath. And black men, again, this is for you, man. If you feel neglected, you feel like nobody cares about you, you busting your ass and you're actually doing the right things, you are taking a step forward, you are putting in the effort and it goes unappreciated, this is for you. And if you're one of those people who have a black man in your life, whether you're male, female, whatever you identify as, you have a husband, boyfriend, son, coach, mentor, teacher, I want you to listen to this very carefully, because these are things that we go through, but we don't get the same sympathy and empathy that women do. Because the world is full of double standards. We know this. And we keep talking about equality, but typically when equality is talked about, it's either racially driven or it's something that women aren't able to do or looked at as incapable of being able to do, but they want to be able to do it, or they want that respect when it comes to that particular field or thing. But rarely is it centered around what a man is going through, what a man needs, what a man is not receiving, how a man is treated. Those are very rare conversations, because men are supposed to be manly men. We're supposed to man up. We're supposed to be tough. We're not supposed to be soft. We're supposed to be leaders. But at the end of the day, we are human as well. If you stab us, we bleed. When we are hurt, we cry. When we fail, we feel disappointment. When we're in love and it doesn't work, our hearts get broken too. But the world has not created a safe space for us to express that or to show that. Because you get called names, you get made fun of simply for being human. Simply for being human. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to play my positive vibe from last week, talking about tables turning. If I can find it, yep. Your positive vibe. This has happened to probably everyone who's watched this video. Be very careful about what you say and do, how you behave, how you treat people, and most importantly, how you judge someone else's situation, especially if you're talking behind their back or speaking down on them, because it could easily be you. And there's no such thing as that could never happen to me, because it can. You really need to consider that. There's just a lot of ugliness and nastiness in the world. We all see it on social media, which is why I do cleanses and unfollow certain content and don't engage and stuff like that, because it's out there. But you don't have to become a part of it, and you don't have to let that become a part of you. I think sometimes people forget that, yeah, it's social media, but before you know it, you're talking just like the blogs and just like these nasty people, and you're looking down on actual people and talking about their situation when your stuff might not even be all the way together. So be very, very, very careful, because that can end up being you. All right, so that was my message last week. The reason I say this ties into that Tyrese interview, and I'm going to play the other one in a second, about embracing change, is because he went through a period where he was taking medication, and if you're on social media, he was having breakdowns on social media, and basically the medication literally had him out of his mind. He was not consciously, according to what he's saying, I'm not calling him a liar, I'm just telling you what he said out of his own mouth. For more context, you can listen to his other Breakfast Club interview. But he was out of his mind. He was doing very irrational things. He hurt a lot of people, called a lot of people and just said things, and it was bad. And we saw him have a psychotic breakdown right in front of our eyes on social media. A lot of people were teasing and talking about him, and I don't know how many people checked on him to see what was going on, but it didn't seem like very many. So I saw that, and I was just like, I don't remember what I thought at the time. Maybe I did an episode about it. I don't know. But it was sad to see. It was sad to see, because like, what the heck is going on? So after that, he found out the medication he took did this to him. And it hurt him on a deeper level because his mother and father suffered from substance abuse, either substance abuse or drug abuse, but both of them were addicts. And he had never, according to him again, he'd never taken a drink or a drug in his entire life because he didn't want to end up like them. But unfortunately, because of what he was going through in life, a prescribed medication did this to him. And he saw himself, he ended up watching back and seeing himself as something he never wanted to be. And then he went back and tried to repair relationships. Some he was able to repair, some he wasn't, because, you know, some people just seem to think or believe that maybe you weren't out of your mind and that's how you were really feeling, so it is what it is. That's a lot to go through, especially when you're a public figure. You as a public figure, a singer, an actor, you need your relationships. So as his profession heavily depended upon his relationships. So to have those relationships damaged, to have your reputation damaged, and we all know to be looked at as a joke and a meme these days is usually not good, because that's all people will talk about. That's all people will remember you for. They will take your art or whatever beautiful thing you're bringing into this world and toss it to the side because, haha, it's funny, and everybody thinks they're a comedian, right? So fast forward, he kind of went on like an apology. I don't want to say an apology tour, but that's what it was, just making up and mending fences. So I saw that interview, right? And so his current Breakfast Club interview, he's talking about where he is today with things. And he even beefed with Charlemagne and DJ Envy because after he, you know, explained that he had this breakdown on the Breakfast Club, they were kind of cracking jokes, and it just went left. And they got nasty on social media. But fast forward to today, and they've squashed it. Him and DJ Envy hugged it out, and he just did an interview on the Breakfast Club. So this is what I posted this week before listening to that interview. And this is the positive vibe from this week. If you didn't get it, here's some more positive vibes.
Your positive vibe. Oldie but goodie. Embrace change. Things change for a reason. You went left instead of right. You went right instead of left. You did that thing you said you've been waiting to do for a long time. You finally did it. Someone finally recognized your potential. All kind of things. Anything can spark change, but when you see it, it's an opportunity to do things differently. So take a chance. Embrace change. That's your positive vibe.
So that man went through some changes, got to see who people are. And even as a person, embrace change. When you've been through some things, you've seen some things, and you see a better way or a different way of doing things, you can do that. So again, the connection to Tyrese's interview, he's got an independent deal. He's about to put out, he said, one of the best pieces of art he's ever put out. I personally, after looking at that interview, I went and pre-ordered the album on vinyl. I got the special edition that's going to have his autograph on it, because though I don't follow Tyrese on social media because he posts some weird, just very left field thinking stuff, and I filter my social media, I rock with him as an actor. I rock with him as a singer. And I like his interviews. He's a very profound speaker. So this is the crux of all those things I've talked about. And this is what happens when a man, speaking from a man's perspective, this is what happens when we go through things and
you deal with a lot of grief.
Nobody checks in with us. Nobody talks to us. People dehumanize us. You need to be 6 feet tall. You need to have a big penis. You need to make $100,000. You need to have a sharp hairline. I want everyone to be envious of you. Like, we got all these things. You're angry. You're automatically angry or aggressive. You a thug. you're an underachiever. Like, we have all of these negative stereotypes about us and all these negative things that are used not only by people from other communities, but people within our own communities, our own women use against us to make us feel like we're not good enough or that we're not enough. And to be 1,000% honest, I'm lucky, and this is probably because I ain't gonna say lucky, I'm blessed. This is probably because most of my friends are women. But when I think about who truly checks in on me, like, when I say check in, like, you call with no ulterior motive. You literally call just to see, yo, how you doing? You don't want advice. You don't want money. You don't need me to do anything for you. You don't want anything but to check on me. Very few people do that. Very, very, very few. And I'm guilty myself of not doing that much of it myself with my other black male friends, mainly because we carry the burden so much and you're so busy trying to keep yourself together, you don't have room for anybody else's stuff. But there are a few people that I do that with, and I wish I could do more, but it's like, when you at capacity, you at capacity. So I'm going to play this clip this is from The Breakfast Club, Tyrese's latest interview. Charlamagne asked him a powerful question, and he gave a very real answer. So here's Tyrese's answer to Charlamagne's question.
That's right.
Oh, Lord.
Fucking you deal with a lot of grief. Like, I think about, Brother Paul Walker, and I think about John Singleton, your mother.
Divorce.
Both of my sisters died. Your sisters. People don't look at divorce as grief, but you did. You lose things, You probably lost a lot of friends when you went through your mental health breakdown. Are you have you really taken the time to deal with all of that grief? Or do you just try to stay busy to avoid it? I'm doing the best I can with every 24 hours I get. That's it. Some tissue for me, brother. No, I don't need no tissue. Black men cry. That's right. Fucking tissue. Every 24 hours I get, I'm doing the best I can. Beautiful Pain, 1992. There is no square footage I could ever live in. There is no rims, no jewelry, and no car. There is no net worth. There is no press release. There is no co-star. There is no collaboration in the world that could ever replace my mama. That could ever fill the void of what it's like to wake up and get married and want to be in something for the rest of your life. And it goes away.
You making me cry.
Get Tyrese some tissue. I don't need no tissue. Man, you U.S., man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I love you.
You've been holding this in the whole interview.
Do you understand how much power it is in letting it go?
Yeah, because you've been holding it the whole interview. I've been watching you.
You asked me the question. I did, but I'm getting you. You should have never asked the question. I love you, if you didn't want to see. I love you, brother. I love you. How hard it's been to get through.
I love you. He's hugging him right now.
Okay, do you not cry? Absolutely. You might not bring it to the radio. Absolutely. But this is what being grown is. Brother. I'm not doing this.
I need one. My makeup gonna mess up.
He threw the tissues to the side.
My concealer's sitting today.
Hear me. Black men cry. When divorces happen, women aren't the only one that are devastated. When a miscarriage happens, women are not the only one that you should be checking on. When you can't put food on the table because your career goes up and then it goes down, stop calling, skipping over the man, and just checking on the woman. You deal with a lot of...
All right, so... Whew, yeah, that really hit home. And it really made me reflect and think about me and my homeboys and what we go through and what we talk about. And some single, some in relationships, some may be married. And it's like, imagine you just need empathy, a moment, someone to give a damn about you, and you're surrounded by people, and not a single one of them ask. The people you do the most for, the people you provide for, the people you work for, the people who motivate you to get up every single day and do what you do, like it or not, just to put one foot in front of the other. And those people don't even have the common decency to say, hey, how are you actually doing? I appreciate you. I love you. I know you're going through a lot. I'm here if you want to talk. Let me give you a hug. Imagine that. Black men don't have to imagine that because that's what we live through. I live through it. I'm living through it. Again, I do have some friends who check in like that, and this is not a knock against any of my other friends because we all the same age, we all grown, and we all going through something. Boy, I done had, over the last couple months, I done had quite a few friends cry, just crying on the phone because of what they going through. You know what I'm saying? And I wish I could just hug them and see them and be there for them. But life really be kicking our ass. And it's crazy to me that when you express yourself as a black man, when you express those feelings like Tyrese just did, your frustration, the sadness, the hurt, you be all right. Yeah, man, just dust that off. Or even worse, they laugh. You're being dramatic. All these things. But those same people who say that, them same people who say that and treat you that way, when you're gone, whether you die, whether you move on, and you take your presence along with the work and effort that you put in with you, that absence is crushing to them. You've heard the saying, you don't realize what you got until it's gone. You should realize what you got while you got it. You ain't got to look far. You ain't got to look long. You ain't got to look hard. So, to the black men out there, if you're feeling underappreciated, you're feeling undervalued, you're stressed, shoot, if you need some advice, you got some situations going on, you can hit us up, rob@fmepodcast.com, admin@fmepodcast.com. We'll respond on the show. Might even respond via email. But I want y'all to know, man, I love y'all. I love y'all, man. I see the Facebook messages of what some of my guys are going through. You know, the phone conversations, the text messages. Everybody think it's a joke that we're in pain and we're struggling, and we have to make light of the situation just so we can keep moving forward sometimes, because if we don't, we will go insane. And it's hard and it's not fun at all. It's not. And it makes you like, you know, one of the things that happened with Tyrese, and this was powerful, when he was going through his mental breakdown, when, you know, he had a very unfortunately famous video where he was crying and asking, what else do you want from me? And he said he realized after everything happened, when he looked at that, he was talking to God. Because, God, I've done all these things. I'm a singer. I'm trying to do the right thing and marry this woman, and all these bad things are happening. What else do I have? Like, what else do you want of me? What else do you need me to give? I've given so much, and I appreciate so much, and I praise your name, but what else do you want from me? That is how it feels. Like, if I could sum up what I would want to say to some people who fall into the category of, you know, being unappreciative, to being rude, disrespectful, dismissive, the question would be, what else do you want from me? So, black man, I love you. I appreciate you, man. Be strong. If you need to talk, man, hit up your homie and just say, man, I just need to talk, man. I just need to vent. When my homies do that, I drop the phone or I drop whatever I'm doing. All right, what's up? And more importantly, sometimes you just shut the hell up and listen. Like, I think people highly undervalue the benefit of having someone to actually listen to you. And again, genuinely listening. Not setting you up, not lining you up to use it later, not lining you up to take advantage of your emotional state, not lining you up to ask you for a favor later, not lining you up to manipulate you, but being on a phone quiet and just listening and empathizing, or being there face to face and listening and empathizing. And again, And I'm not trying to be rude or mean. I'm talking about the people who are doing the right thing. The brothers who are out here working hard every day. The brother who may be walking to work or riding his bike to work, picking up trash. Or even the brother with the 9-to-5 with the college degree going in every day. You know what I'm saying? Paying bills. Taking care of his friends. Taking care of his family. Having unexpected emergencies but nobody to back him up. Or somebody saying something about him, or him reliving a piece of his childhood or some past trauma and wanting to address it because it still hurts to this day, and now it's showing up in his relationships, his friendships, his work relationships, his own habits, his own personality. And he's done the work, and now he sees, this is where I got this from. This is a problem for me, but I can't get it off my chest because I don't want to hurt this person's feelings. That, and they probably won't care anyway. You still mad over that? That was so long ago. Was it really that bad? These are things people say to you about your trauma that they may have caused. Or by trauma, even if they didn't cause the trauma. Things that you're trying to express that you went through something. I'm going through something. This is hurting. But they don't want to give you any empathy. But boy, let something happen to them. You better have gallons of empathy for them. So, black man, if nobody has told you recently or lately, man, I love you. I appreciate you. I promise you things will get better. And I'm going to say this because this is something that I've done and I'm going to continue to do. And it's breaking generational curses. And it's part of just shifting the life that I want to have for myself. Really take heed and take seriously the phrase, if you're not for me, then you got to go. We talk about that, right? And part of being for me means I'm going to express myself emotionally. If you ain't with that, if you don't respect that, I will deal with you on the surface level. Because I'm a whole person. I'm not just a provider. I'm not just a podcaster. I'm not just a gamer. I'm not just an instructional designer. I'm not just a noob. I'm not just, a Claflinite. I'm not just a black man. I'm not just a Wilson. I'm a multitude of things. So you got to accept all of it. Let me take that back. You ain't got to accept all of it, but you're going to respect and acknowledge all of it. That much. Because if you don't have respect for me and you can't acknowledge all of me, then our relationship is going to be what it's going to be. You cannot have a deep, fulfilling, meaningful relationship. And I'm talking any relationship. Brother, sister, uncle, auntie, cousin, mom, dad, romantic relationship. You cannot have a deep and fulfilling relationship with someone if they cannot be themselves. They faking it until they make it. And when they can't fake it no more, that's when you get the results. Which are typically breakup, divorce, not talking to you no more, blow ups, all that good stuff. Not good stuff, but you know what I mean. So I would encourage you, brothers, go look at the Tyrese interviews on the Breakfast Club. Go look at the old one. Go look at the new one. Get in tune with how you're feeling and how you're thinking. And find people who give a damn about you. Because, quite honestly, the people who don't, they just fill in the space. They're just another number in your phone. They're just another profile on social media that you can key with. Or you can have basic level of human contact with and basic level conversations with just to say that you're not alone. But to be honest, you probably would be better off alone because you're creating room for the people that you truly want in your space. But I'm still going to hold you accountable just like I hold myself accountable. I'm talking about people who are doing the right thing. You're not lying to people. You're not manipulating the people. You're taking accountability and ownership of the mistakes that you make, of the pain that you cause, of the hurt that you cause, of the things that you need to be doing, of the things that are holding you back. See, it has to be a two-way street. You can't just be the victim. I'm talking about people who are doing what they're supposed to do and actually putting in real effort. But if you know you slacking, bro, you know you slacking. Now, I'm not saying that takes away your right to express yourself as a man and to express your feelings, but understand why you may also be part of the cause of why you can't open up to people, or why people don't take you seriously. So we play a part too. So it's a two-way street. So I guess I don't need to play a message for black men today because this was for black men. But again, I love y'all, man. I'm going to go ahead and roll up out of here. And that's another episode of From My Experience podcast, man. That's just been, I just found that real interesting, that how we didn't record, gave a positive vibe, gave another positive vibe, then heard that interview and thought about the topic I had for last week and how all of it just tied in together, man. But, you know, black men, ladies, if you're out there listening, or anyone that has a black man in their life, yo, we be tired, yo. It's hard out here. Sometimes we would love to have a day off. We would love to have some time off. We would love to have space just to be. Just to be. Just let a man be sometimes. Even that. Even if you don't have the capability and ability to empathize, sympathize, or listen. Give us peace. You'll see that on social media all the time. Men value peace. You know why we value peace? Because we're not being bothered. Someone's not asking anything of us. The world is not asking and demanding anything of us. There is no pressure. There is no expectation we have to live up to. We simply just get to be. That is peace. Until next time, take care of yourselves physically, mentally, and financially. We'll catch y'all. Peace.